Tiki Oasis. Here we are again.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
It's fantastic. Monsters and a lot of tiki and a lot of great things going on. Day 2, we're here Saturday, just kind of hanging.
And I'm glad we get to talk together because, you know, I've known you for quite some time.
Yeah.
And I was just talking about how when we first met, you were telling me that you were actually still at the Maikai.
Yeah.
And you showed them the Book of Tiki, right?
I did. I had gotten the Book of Tiki when I started working there and absolutely went crazy looking at all the pictures. And I went to the Maikai and I told Mide.
Right.
I showed her the book. I was so excited. And I opened it, I'm like, look, we're in it. She goes, I didn't give permission. She actually flipped out. And I'm going, no, this is amazing. This is great. And it became like the genesis of this really terrific thing that happened after they realized that this book was written and it was written lovingly. And you did an amazing job with this book. You've written so many now since then that are really great with
And it's funny, people always, you know, come to me and say, so what's your next book going to be about? And I'm like, Tiki?
Yeah.
And like, what? But you've already written everything about it that there is to say. And like, no, I still have like 3 or 4 more books in me.
It's like the tip of the iceberg in a way.
Yeah.
You know, and that brings on that, you just have a new book just got released, right?
Yeah, the one that is a book and a catalog for this exhibition that I did in Paris.
Oh my gosh.
And it was like the first big, real museum exhibition about Tiki culture.
Way past due, I'm sure. You must have been thrilled.
Yeah, it was really good, and it's ironic that it happened in Europe. You know, it's like this, history repeats itself by, you know, America still is sort of marginalizing Tiki as kitsch and as tacky, and not recognizing it as the art form that it is.
You know, you're right. They compartmentalize the culture, the subculture, not understanding that it's comprised of something that's way heavier than what people think. They're just looking at the bright colors and, of course, the manufacture of this Polynesian, you know, vision, but for the most part, its foundation is very solid and very sincere. So
and it's an American pop culture, and people still don't realize it. They all, you know, they think it's from Hawaii, or so it is. But what Americans did with it and what they're doing with it is completely its own thing.
Absolutely, it's become its own culture, and it's continuing to progress. Now you kind of start to see these little infusions, more rockabilly culture being mixed in there. The tattoo culture has changed from just, you know, the tribal kind that you would expect to now, well, incredible artists showing up and doing their renditions of what they believe Tiki is. And that leads to the aesthetic of Tiki, which has become quite colorful and diverse. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, you know, it's all a matter of balance. As long as it still has some original Polynesian Tiki style in it, that's great. I mean, I'm not, people sometimes say that I'm a purist and I'm like anti-pop Tiki, which, you know, I wanted Tiki to become popular again. My aim with the Book of Tiki was that the Tiki re-enters pop culture. That's why I waited for a long time to find the right publisher that would not only do a full color, nice big book, but would do it for an affordable price. And so, you know, it worked out great with Taschen.
Yeah, Taschen seems to be.
Not only in America, but internationally too. So, I'm happy with that, with the way that came out. It really Tiki re-entered pop culture, only that I'm now saying that it's a little bit too much pop and not enough Tiki sometimes.
I see your point on that for sure. You know, well, when I worked at the Maikai, you know, and I danced there, I was completely entranced by the subculture, as far as not the subculture, the culture of Tiki, you know, or where it's derived from. I'm working with Hawaiians and Tahitians and Samoans, and that was my original introduction to it. All the other stuff that I saw was almost like you're looking underneath the surface and you're seeing these other things, like the people who are there, the people who are having the cocktails. The infusion of Chinese culture, where now they're serving Mandarin food. And okay, interesting, there's infusions and concocted names. And I rather found it to be two very different worlds coexisting
Right.
in an establishment, and you had to kind of take your choice. But it's really interesting that you not only put this book together, you enlightened a lot of people into it, which I think was your sincere intention.
Right.
And obviously, you caused something really special to happen.
Yeah, you know, and I did it by falling back on my profession, on being a cinematographer for a living. I did it with the visuals. To me, the visual arts are the important aspect of Tiki.
Right.
Lately, there's, the driving force has been cocktail culture, which is great too. But it's really just one facet of the whole Tiki cosmos.
Absolutely.
And the thing that unites it mostly is its visual quality and its imagery. And I make sure that for my books, I pick like the best Tiki eye candy that, that draws people in and makes them want to know more about like where did this incredible image come from? What does it all mean?
Absolutely.
And I put it in a context to explain that.
And thankfully, it's hard to find books which you just want to have and keep on your coffee table, and you have succeeded in that. In
Thanks.
every book that you've produced. I'm so proud to know you. You're my best friend in the whole world. Thank you so much for meeting me.
Thank you.
I love this man.